official podcast. And it's really cool. Oh, I have John is here.
I love it. I love it. So look, everyone, we're marrying the Go for CEO channel. Welcome back to the Go for CEO channel, right? We have Laura Barnard with the MUUV, MUUV movement, right? I love it. I love it. That is an incredible movement. And what a super gal, right? She shared a little bit earlier that corporate America, Del Monte Foods, I mean, investment banking, just building her resume for many, many years. And now she's just caring for small to medium-sized business owners, right? Is kind of what I'm hearing, right? Is the fire you have for those people, the way to really worldwide get them engaged in from an idea to, building up something so that they're out in the marketplace serving someone, be it with their service or product, right?
Exactly.
So let's keep it going, right? We're doing a little bit different, Go for CEO. We also have fireside, ladies and gentlemen, people up on the stage here and listening to us there. So we've got the Go for CEO movement and the MUUV, MUUV movement.
There you go. We've got two movements converging together, and MUUV Group, the parent, okay, it used to be MUUV, MUUV Group, GROUP, group team. And then I was like, I want to try to do something different. So we started thinking about a name. Was it Equip? Was it, anyway, we looked it up, and I think group, GRUPP, means team in another language, Swedish or something.
Okay.
But then I was like, whoa, what does this mean? I'm like nerdy trying to come up with something. I'm like, okay, it's an acronym. Global Resources Uniting Powerful Partnerships. So let's take that apart. Powerful partnerships is what we're doing. We're in a world of collaboration versus competition. Trademarks, copy, all of these things, patents. At the end of the day, you throw up a website, and anybody that has the ability to have expertise in that area can go and source that same product, or make a slight change, reverse engineer it, and go back. They might, you might have first mover advantage for a short period of time. Look at what's going on in social audio. Look at what's going on in podcasting. There's Fireside, there's Be Heard. I looked at a video last night of Facebook's Be Heard.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool. Their audio quality, you can walk down the street, you won't hear the nick. It's like a camera filter. You won't hear the trains. You only hear the person's voice.
See, you heard some Fireside.
Yeah.
So no, but cool. No, that's not, yeah, there's going to be competition. It's kind of, we're up on stage, right, a lot together, Laura, and we hear from people that say, well, hey, I don't want to say what my idea is right now, because
sign an NDA.
I'm worried. Can you sign an NDA? Yeah. I'm like, no, man, look, let's just be real. Tell your idea. Yeah. If there's people in this audience that want to help you, we're going to help you. If we're a little bit crooked, somebody might try to steal it, right? But that is the speed of the game, right? It's the speed of the game, and understanding kind of you're in a dog-eat-dog world. Like, business is not like all hunky-dory, but it is collaboration nowadays more. It is about working together. It is about like, hey, Laura does X, John does Y. Like, how can we get together to get to Z, right? Yeah. So it's a pretty cool time that we live in, and especially with a social audio where, you could talk to someone from India, from Malaysia, from Portugal, from South America, Colombia, whatever.
It's unbelievable.
Like, it's crazy.
But doesn't your mind, like, I'm so curious. Like, I love talking and sharing, right? But I really like being on that stage. I actually really like lead modding and facilitating, because there's not so that I would have more of a voice, but so that it's work. It's like running a marathon. You got to get your compression sleeves from 2XU. You got to get your Gatorade, your water. You got to get ready. But I feel like it's when you lead mod, like after an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, versus being on the stage, having other stuff going on in the background. You could you could be in pajamas. You could be taking a bath. You could be talking to your neighbor. You could be smoking a cigar. You could be grilling on the fire. But when you're lead modding, it's another level of attention.
For sure.
And so I really like that, because those are, I think, we're all a little bit ADD.
No, it allows you to kind of direct the conversation. It allows you to be very interactive with the audience and people coming up. You actually even take some time to really kind of involve yourself in learning. Now we're talking about Clubhouse, everybody, right? It's kind of where Laura and I met. If you got cut off before, Laura and I met and created a relationship. And then 2.5 weeks ago or so, we embraced, we gave each other a hug. And now we're here in my office in Oak Brook, Illinois, at the Go for CEO studios. And what we're doing is just having a conversation about business, about life, about how social audio is changing things. So tell me
the speed of the game, though.
Speed of the game.
The speed of the game. I love that quote. You could write a book, Speed of the Game.
Speed of the game. I mean,
collaboration versus competition, or power, speed of the game, powerful partnerships, because it's super interesting. Like, and my wheels were turning when you were talking about what you do. And then I was thinking about the community that I happen to be a community member. I'm saying my name is Laura Frank Barnard. I'm a community member collaborator with the Let's Move Together movement, right? And yes, I happen to be the founder too. But what we want is I don't know if we'll have 100 members, if we'll have, and collaborators, but we want people to collaborate. We want people to partner. That's where the speed of the game becomes warps. You're going on turbo. When you have, I literally just put this out there. I've never in my life, I've been flipping millions of dollars into brands, multiple, probably 6, 7 different companies, endurance leaders, myathletebuddy.com, EL Connects Us with an X, became MUUV Adventures, MUUV Bikes, Let's Move. And when I was thinking about what do I name this new thing, Move Forward Strategic Partners. So there's at least half a dozen there, all of which got at least 6 digits. Some got 7 digits invested in them. And then if I count the opportunity cost for my time of not sitting in a C-suite executive rank in a $400 million company, throw that in times 7 years. It's a lot of money.
That is a lot.
It's probably 8 digits of investment between my time and my own money, including lots of savings, because I was bootstrapping all of them. I did a short period of time where I did go out to a handful of investors. But the reason that I feel like this has just kind of presented itself for me is that between the $1 Million Biz Club, where you hear people talk about ventures all over the world and needing help and knowledge, and we're pouring into them, and the investment banking community, the angel and VC investor community within Clubhouse that I sit in for hours and hours and hours, I think we all have experiences, and we think about, okay, what else can we offer? How can we take it up a notch? How can we go the extra mile? And for me, it began with the financial metrics room, because I feel like there was a lot of demystifying these acronyms. And then it was like, whoa, there's something more we can do. Like, how do I've got 1,000 texts. I've got 400 texts in my back channel in Clubhouse. I've got 100 on Instagram on people I haven't followed yet that I need to follow back. I've got 100, sorry, you're laughing, and I feel bad. I'm saying this, I'm being honest. I can't even imagine how much Fallon has, and Mark Cuban and these people that are real influencers. So I have like 1,000, just in the last month, over 1,000 lead gens that are people, not lead gens for me to sell them anything, lead gens for me to serve them in some way, make a difference in their life, in some way, use all that talent and expertise, the good, the bad. I have this new quote that I heard on Clubhouse, and I kind of adjusted a little bit. It was, what was it? It was basically around that you literally have to go for things, and then you fail, and then you learn, and then you continue to go, and at some point you fly. And so right now there's opportunities. I think you've found them too. And I believe that there is a need for more education outside of Google and outside of incubators and outside of accelerators for startup founders to be able to understand and go through a startup academy. That's what Let's Move Together is in its essence. It's education using an entertainment media platform, Fireside, Clubhouse, whatever, all the other Speakeasy, all the others are out there. We'll use as many as we can to get the word out. But ultimately, we need people from around the world to come onto our platform, whether it's a landing page, a website, a future app, whatever it becomes. But it's all about harnessing their skills, and also allowing them to partner with the people that they need to support them, so that they don't bootstrap their way to bankruptcy. They don't bootstrap their way to their kids through their college kids' education account, mortgaging their houses, because they don't go to the table and ask for other people's money because feel like they're not there yet. They got to get to that, because I was there. for the last 7 years.
Yeah, we have been.
And you
Yeah,
said you haven't used other people's money
No,
yet.
no, but it could have worked, right? It could have helped a lot.
Well,
And
now it is. Now
yeah,
you get the next 10 years.
that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. It's great to hear because I think ultimately that's, if you think about the people that have changed the world, it's typically entrepreneurs, people
Right.
that have an idea, and it could be in different genres, right? Of business. It could be in scientific. It could be in clothing, whatever. I mean, all types
Sam
of
from
things.
Walmart, Bezos, Bill Gates, most of the people that created these massive, radical, disruptive models were people who came from broken families, people who were scrappy and tenacious.
Mhm.
And not to say that the kid who has a very comfortable
Not to say that
life,
their kids aren't going to do something, because the people you just said, right?
yeah, hopefully their kids
Yeah,
are.
hopefully.
Hopefully their kids are. Hopefully everybody is,
Yeah.
everybody has an opportunity to share.
And look, isn't there endless amounts of money, right?
Yeah.
There is no, like, I love what Cardone talks about, Grant Cardone, right? He always talks about, look, there is no limit to money. There is endless amounts of money, but it's just, it funnels up to the very top because those are the people taking action a lot of times. And unfortunately, the middle and then the lower side, it's like they're not finding ways to really capture that market, that piece of the pie.
And that's
right?
and so I like to flip it around.
Sure.
I just heard
sure.
Grant. I was with Grant on Barbara Majeski's Bearing It All on Clubhouse. I love Barbara.
Mhm.
And Grant was talking about just get shit done. Just go forward. Just try. That's what it is. Try, fail, learn, grow, and then keep going. Do it
Nice.
again, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of what I came up with today. But if you don't try, like I used to beat myself up because I tried and I failed. And then I let other people tell me, how the hell did you just try to change the world? In 2015, my name is Laura Frank Barnard. After a year of being sick, I spent $1 million to try to solve mental health across the world. Didn't go so well. It wasn't $1 million. It wasn't $1 billion. It was $1 million.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more, but maybe $1 million would have been enough with partnerships.
Multiplied through
Right?
partnerships.
Multiplied through partnerships.
100%. Because I mean, then the X factor is there's 1,000X out of that, right? You never know because your 6 connects to other 6 who connects to millions and millions across the world. So
we're launching MUUV. Let's Move Together. We're launching it on a budget of 0.
Okay.
We're launching it with the relationships and the partnerships that I have created, that we have created. And I feel like I'm pretty proud of myself. I feel like that I'm blessed. I feel like I've put in a lot of time. I have an authenticity, I feel, and it's real. I care about each person that comes up, no matter where they are, who they are, what they're doing. The person that's making dresses for $8 and for adult dresses, it takes her 3 days to make them in Nigeria, and a kid dress for $4. It takes her a day, and she has one account in Dallas. But how can we ensure that we're getting to 10,000 other of those people? Because those people are not going to pay and be able to pay $3,000 for branding done for their website.
Sure.
Even though maybe they could sell millions of dollars worth of and have a whole factory, of people or outsource it. They're not going to have that unless they get some type of, and yes, they can use Google, they can use the internet. But what I'm hearing is there's a power of our voices that people are learning so much more by hearing us. So amongst the investor community, we're talking about how to create little 3-minute snippets about SAFE, right? So you don't just Google a SAFE agreement, come up with Y Combinator, who has done a great job. They're the one, they've done a revolutionary job. But how do we come up with little snippets of 180 seconds? And then we make those available for free and we collaborate and we see if we can create some kind of partnership and certification so that this young Indian entrepreneur named Kumesh in Delhi, who wants to save the world from in India by creating mental health clinics in India and then franchise it possibly outside of India, because his best friend took his life and his cousin took his life, and he's committed to make a difference in mental health. But he didn't know what business was. He came from a small village. People were telling me, you're from a small village. What are
And
you
what
trying
can
to
you
do?
do?
You can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I got somebody you can go work for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
And he said, screw that. I'm Kumesh. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And because he was in there listening to us, and we made a difference. And then I now have people texting me, what was that guy's name? Can you put me in touch with Kumesh? I'm interested in investing in him.
That's awesome.
That's
That's so
awesome.
cool. You know, and the videos that you're talking about, that 180 seconds, I think it's simplicity of words, right? Because words matter.
Yeah.
And if you make it simple, I think, you know, English happens to be a kind of a worldwide language. Everybody tries to learn it, right?
Yeah.
To kind of have a community of speaking. But when you use, you know, the words that are super clear, simple, and people can take action after that, that's pretty cool that you're going to be able to make 180-second videos that then, I think one of the things that would be my interjection is that 180 seconds, super simplistic, super easy to understand, but then how do you challenge them to take action at the very next step, right? Which is kind of what Grant talked about, right? Is taking
and we
that
need
action,
people like
right?
Lisa. We need people like Grant. We need people like Lisa, who are mindset people, because, you know, to keep going, because I'm curious, this whole aspect of how do we help people take action, or do people want to take action? They wake up in the morning and they're all ramped up, but they're inundated with young kids. They're inundated with, you know, how am I going to pay my light bill? They're inundated with, you know, umpteen million, you know, things that they've got to do to just feed their families.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's a chapter in the book that I'm writing called Go for CEO, Driven by Mindset. And it talks about accountability, right? And I think one of the things I'm exploring in that chapter is about, well, I mean, look, ultimately we are human beings, right? There are some things that probably some people are limited to doing, but I think we can all take action. I think that's something that is a universal thing that everybody can take action.
Right.
Now, to what capacity, how good can you be at that action? You know, it's about what you've learned, the community that you're around, who's influencing you, who's your mentor, right? To be a mentee. Eventually you could be a mentor, but you have to almost start being a mentee. Yeah. Right. So
like, who were some of those mentors in your life?
You know, it's interesting. Probably the first one I would say, when I was growing up, my uncle in Colombia. So Colombia, South America. We would go to Colombia, South America, and my uncle owned a pretty darn big business. Plastic spoons, knives, forks, cutlery. He distributed to McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all that stuff down there, and all the other, you know, rotisserie chicken place and stuff. And we would go to his factory, and there was, I'm not kidding, there's 50 machines that were $250,000 each, a machine. Wow. And these things popped out, these plastic spoons, knives, forks, and cutlery circles. And these ladies, I mean, it is what it is, but they would sit there 8-hour shifts. Right. Click, 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 like literally for 8 hours. Yeah. Then those spoons and knives and forks were put into big, huge buckets. Yeah. Then they were put into another area for basically a line, right? And then that line would grab a spoon and knife and a fork, put it through a little plastic thing, seal each one, put it into another thing, right? So, and then
manufacturing. I love that. I love manufacturing.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
But that expanded my vision. So then
now those are all being done by automatic robotic arms, but because labor is so intensive. But yeah, it's
so that was my first mentor, because in my own family, I saw someone that had a different lifestyle than I did. Well, I mean, in the United States, you know, we're just lower to middle class, you know, never really upper to beyond.
I hate those words, by the way.
I get it. But I mean,
people use those words, and I'm like,
but I think, so but it sets an understanding of kind of where we like.
Yeah, look, I guess we are not like affluent like a Grant Cardone, but we're comfortable, and we have a loving family, and we live in
we live better than, unfortunately to say it, but like 90% of the world, right? Well,
and even in America, 70% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, and they're living paycheck to paycheck, maybe because especially with COVID, maybe they got themselves into an apartment that was a little too expensive, or a car that was a little too expensive, or and look, I did that. I had built 2 $1 million homes, and I was doing really well. And I had kids' college education account, I had savings, I had all those things. But when COVID happens, you can think about the people that are wiping through savings accounts right now.
Yes, I mean, all of a sudden they were making whatever, 15, 20, 30 grand. And if you have to shut down your business as one example, and now that 15, 30 grand, I mean, think about if your lifestyle is 12,000 a month, 144 a year.
Yeah.
If you have 300,000 savings, it's still only a
it
couple
doesn't
years.
and that, that was part of my story is that I was sick for on and off for 7 years.
Jeez.
And I had done all the right things. I have a $2 million life insurance policy. I have a very expensive per month. I mean, it's like 8,000. Yeah, it's like $8,000, $9,000 a year disability insurance policy that pays out big money, 5 digits per month, because I was a corporate executive and that's where I was at. And I was able to get that policy when I was younger. But when you're sick in the mental health arena for multiple years, it cuts off. So if I had some other traditional medical issue, if I had gone out on disability, like I got hurt, right? I got hurt on a workers' comp case. This hand will probably come back. Let's hope I won't have some permanent disability with this hand. But had I done something like that, then I would have had that for life. But instead I had it for 2 years. Well, 2 years, when you're spending twice that taking care of a family of 4, within 7 years, you're screwed.
You're done.
You're starting from scratch. So my theme is take off from the tarmac. And I did work for an airline, and I did get hurt, by the way, which I'll be fine. But that time on the tarmac, working with $10 an hour employees, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I've made hundreds of thousands and saved millions. I've been very fortunate, and I've lost them trying to save the world. But working with that team, the 27-year-old manager named Colin, and the people that Dakota and Jake and Brian and Abby and Ed and Raphael, and this is just in the last few months, I get to watch the sun rise and set on the tarmac in South Bend, Indiana. And it was like my tarmac think tank. I wouldn't have the ideas I have right now without running, without time where you unplug and you do something different. You get in a rat race of working. And I don't think that I think when you think about like people around the world trying to come up with ideas, they got that train going. So it's hard to stop. And you talk about being an entrepreneur. They're being very entrepreneurial within their own companies, but they're still not calling all the shots. They're not deciding what's problem to solve and how to solve it.
Yeah, I mean, an entrepreneur can be tricky too, right? Because you have the heart of a champion, the heart of an entrepreneur, but like you said, you may not be able to call the shots. So I think as an entrepreneur, you have to think of it as like, hey, look, the nice thing is that if you treat it as if you are the business owner, and let's say you have a corporate card, do you think about spending? Do you think about frivolously spending, or do you think about making sure that you don't spend that extra $30 because you times 1,000 people on a corporate card at $30 is $30,000, right? So that's the mindset behind it. Or making a decision that if your culture in your company is really conducive of building entrepreneurs, it should be that you could fail. Like you could make a wrong decision. Right. But as an entrepreneur culture, I think that would be cool. You're giving me like all these ideas of books like today.
That's good. So, well, you're getting me ideas of how to utilize and partner with your platform and what you do, and teaching some of the people within our community, because I want to capture in this academy, and we have a wave. If we can get, I hope we're going to launch a 50-hour marathon this weekend as we launch Let's Move together. And like I said, it's a community of founders, wrapping around them service providers and investors, because that's how I feel like Clubhouse. There's people that are like our friend Glenn, that's a branding expert, and Anthony, who's a maven at sales, and Alicia, who has a digital marketing agency that helps female founders. And, all these different people. So there's these service providers, and we all overlap. We're all investors, even in our own businesses or our own dreams. We're all, founders also, and then we're service providers, whatever. But we have a primary focus at this point in time. We have a focus. And I think within Clubhouse, that's how I would categorize people: investors, founders, and service providers. And what we want to do is have people mostly founders, but then, and we won't have necessary vetting yet, but we have ideas and partnering technologies. I've been gifted a CRM platform for the year.
Oh, wow.
Like a badass fellow female investor mod who is building a unicorn. We get to have her platform for a year, no cost. I had the landing page being done, no cost. I have people from India, from Europe, from Africa, BE is involved, and North America, a portfolio company that is sourcing from South America. So we already have 5 continents, and we haven't even gotten out of the gate. We're just starting. So we're going to do this marathon. We're going to see, can we take the club from 200 to 1,000 or 10,000 really quickly by having this other place that people can get value, that people can sign up for this startup academy, that we're going to get them back onto Clubhouse and merely market what's already out there.
Yeah, with Fireside and all the other things,
Yeah.
right? So let me do a quick reset.
Yeah.
Was we always say on Clubhouse.
And we'll focus in and get
Yeah,
done
no.
soon.
No, hey, we're on the Go for CEO channel. We're recording right now to be able to upload with Laura Frank Barnard, part of the MUUV, MUUV movement group. And obviously we're on Fireside as well. I see all the people listening in on Fireside. So cool to have people just kind of hanging out.
We got 8 people in the studio. We got Russ. My friend Russ is in Australia.
Oh, that's
Wendy, Chocolate Johnny, also from Australia.
Nice. All right.
Kat, Woody, anybody can come up on stage.
Is Ron on stage then? Or?
Ron is on stage. So let's see if Chocolate Johnny will come up. Invite to stage.
And then we'll be able
Russ,
to hear him? Or?
Actually, Russ may be not in. Russ may be in Park City, or may have. We've got 9 people in the studio now. We've got the weight bot.
Nice. Well, look, check out over the next week or two, go to GO, the number 4 CEO on YouTube and on Spotify and on iTunes. We're going to have Laura Frank Barnard this uploaded over the next week. And I'd love to have people just check it out. This is just a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. You know, every once in a while we've had this where I interview CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, but I had a gentleman named Shane. I don't know how to say his last name. It's like it's a long one, but he's a Samoan gentleman, and he's in real estate. He stopped in my office. We had a great conversation. He's had some good views, and we just talked real estate, but it was totally freelance. And today we're talking with you, totally freelance, about just movement, 2XU, and everything that you're doing, and then also thinking about ideas, how we can move people forward, right? And businesses and stuff. So it's really cool.
Together, what is it? Solo, we can run fast, but try to run a 100-yard dash 100 times. But then if you pass the baton, it's easy.
Oh, super
so
simple.
Solo, we can run fast. Together, we can run far, and we can do it quickly. The speed of the game.
I love it.
We got to co-write a book, or
I know we're gonna have the speed of the game.
Yeah, maybe that's a new podcast on Fireside. Oh, Russ is here. Let's see if we can. Let's try something.
All right.
So, Russ, are you there?
I am indeed.
Oh,
look at the
cool.
quality.
Park City, as you know, with some other people you know.
Stan, the man. Yep, Stan is involved.
Stan's starting to crush it on Clubhouse.
He is.
Like yourself.
Yeah, he is a good friend, and when he's not on his bike, he is having. Oh, and as we're speaking, John the Bomb just got invited to download the app and become a creator, because I'm here and we were signing him up. But Russ is in Park City.
Oh, nice. Hi. Hey, Russ. How are you?
Good. Yeah, thanks for asking me up. Yeah, I just need to clarify that, but I also love what you're doing. Definitely think that there's always a need for more education. I agree 100%. You know, alone, you know, we go fast, but together we go far. I've always thought that the team is probably the most important thing in any venture, whether it's business or life. So yeah, it's good to just sit here and listen to what you folks are up to.
So, what's your background? Because I have someone I want to ask you if you know, just because in Utah, do you know the Cunningham family? They're politics, but also in the financial business. Rich, I think it's Rich Cunningham.
I don't. May have crossed paths somewhere along the line.
So what area are you in?
Right.
What type of business?
So I'm in Park City, and I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Oh, okay.
By training.
Oh, wow.
But along the way, for 20 plus years now, I've been in commercialization, so ideation to commercialization, mainly in the life sciences, and have been an entrepreneur of sorts. Started companies, consulted with companies, held every role in every type of startup there is, advised startups. Stan and I, who I don't know if you know him, Ron, but back in 2007, the Park City Angels was formed, and I was an early member of that group with Stan. So I've been on all sides of the table in most of the roles. I'm not really clinically active much right now as a surgeon. Most of what I do is either entrepreneurship, or my day job is the chief operating officer of a biotech company in Salt Lake.
Oh, wow.
But I do have my own curriculum, so to speak, where I love to teach entrepreneurs and even, I think you guys mentioned mentors, and I actually have strong feelings about the difference between teachers, mentors, and coaches, because I think we all need all of them, and we should be we all should have mentors while we're mentoring others. So that's where I am, where I've been, and kind of the long, short story.
Yeah, so Russ, so part of the dream and the future, and we're going to do a proof of concept. So this Let's Move Together community of founder, it's really 4 founders, right? And then it benefits the investors and it benefits the service providers. The founders will never pay a dime. I'm not going to charge people to come to a startup academy so that they can become investable, so they can help others, get a good return on their investment. In my opinion, there is a plethora of funds. There's a huge issue with respect to underrepresented founders not going to the table and not closing deals, and maybe even going to the table and not closing deals. Female founders is one of those underrepresented communities. So female founders are about half of startups. Female founders today get 2.3% of the deals, early stage.
Wow.
A year ago, it was before COVID, it was it had gone from 1% to 2.8%. Still horrible. 1 out of 35. Now it's 1 out of 45. Now, if you take a female founder and they're African-American, it's less than 1%. It's a 1 in 150 chance, and so, there are reasons. Part of it is women are not coming to the table. Part of it is women are not, and I'm not an expert at this yet. Maybe they get turned down 10 or 20 times and they say, forget it, I'm going to do it myself. Screw that. Mm-hmm. Whereas men will continue to go 100 times, knock on the door until someone writes them a check. Plus 70% of startups run out of money before they do the next round. And look, I don't know this. I'm just reading about it. Rush, you live it. But what we want to do is I clearly have become, we're becoming venture scouts. That's what we're doing on Clubhouse. We're teaching, we're becoming venture scouts, we're mentoring, but there's something more that we can be doing. And we're hoping within Stan and a bunch of us within the investor community in Clubhouse, what we're planning is to have become that, maybe those venture groups, those angel funds around the country, around the world, they get thousands of applications. Maybe those ones that they don't quite want to invest in yet, they push it back over to us. We get even more that we're able to see. And through our different platforms, not just mine, but all these different free platforms and other platforms, and even learning journeys in Clubhouse or Fireside. Now, 6 months or a year later, they go back to the table, because a lot of those ideas are good ideas that founders just not investable.
Yeah, no, at that moment, they're not investable. I mean, look, it's still an ROI game, right? And you have to figure out kind of where they're at in the journey. So, Russ, any feedback on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that was said. There is this. I don't know whether it's a myth, and maybe I'll get slapped for this, but that, female founders are at a disadvantage actually when they're presenting. And I disagree with that. I actually agree more with your statement, Laura, that it's an access problem, because I really would prefer to be blind to gender, race, and everything else and hear the pitch on its merits, because at the end of the day, a lot of it is about ROI. It's also about the mission. Are they trying to change the world, and what are they doing? And it's almost like I rather, judge and fund something on its merits and on the merit of the individual than on any other aspect of their race or gender. Because I can tell you that when female founders make it to the stage, they're taken very seriously. And I think there's a lot of data now showing the advantages that female founders have. And even in my field of surgery, I mean, female surgeons are incredible. And there's this like bias that like, oh, all the male surgeons don't want to deal with them. And I know that's real, and I've seen it, and I think it's disgusting. But at the end of the day, if my surgeon turns out to be female, I'm all in. That's great. I don't have any preconceived issues. In fact, they're probably more level-headed. And I find the same in business. But I agree with you. There's a big access problem. There's probably some more to the root cause of this that we need to get to. And I'm all for those that can change it.
Yeah, it's such a huge opportunity. I will say, just so you know, your friend Stan, because I hear him every day, and he actually is part of the inner core of Let's Move Together. He's one of my mentors and advisors, and I may not be I think everybody's awesome. I think everybody's idea is fabulous. And I do realize what is someone that's investable and scalable, and who we're going to need to wrap some managerial professional talent, because I was that professional talent that went into businesses and helped scale them. One was 14, went to 400 million, one in 8 years, one was 82 and went to 120 million in 3, and one was 180 and went to 400 million in 8. And I was in the C-suite of all those, the top 2 or 3 people in those companies, but I wasn't the CEO. And that's why there was something lacking. I wasn't able to truly, how do I want to say this? I hate the word control. I wasn't able to truly deliver the culture that I felt was a winning culture. And so there were aspects, I had to respect the fact that I wasn't putting 20 and 40 and 100 million of my dollars. These were family owned businesses. One, I owned 5% of it at one point in time. So that was awesome. A year after joining Howard gifted me that because I was adding value, and he wanted me to be there. And he actually happened to be super sick at the time. He survived cancer, but so I was that professional manager who happened to fall into these companies and help them scale. But that's part of for me, that was part of like unshackling from building other people's businesses, even though I was significant in driving when you can drive the strategic plan of an organization and then rally the team around it, and you're in that seat, you're almost as if you're way more than an entrepreneur.
Sure.
You're basically, even though you're getting a paycheck, whether you're have equity or not, you're driving a significant, but you can't control the culture and how people treat each other, because you're not ultimately and that is something that's super important to me.
Yeah. You may only be able to, in some ways, your team and influence the rest of, but you're not, it's not, you're not kind of, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I mean, if you go deeper with that, because could your team within, 25 teams be the team that leads the culture revolution, right? It could be. So, but
you definitely try. And
it's interesting. I'm in that position right now as COO. Which is always an interesting position, right? Because COOs are either looking to move up, or it's a horizontal move to somewhere else, which is why their lifespan is often pretty short in different businesses. But Stan and I actually did a fireside. You can look on my profile on the importance of the co-founder, because I also have very strong feelings about the team and the co-founders. And you're right, not everybody is meant to lead. Not everybody is. I think your term you used was investable. I think the other term that we use a lot is coachable. I find women to be much more coachable than men, especially the young men. But the importance of finding that right co-founder, it's hard to tell somebody, look, it's your baby, but find you a better lead, and you can still run and call a lot of the shots, but maybe you're not the front person or the front woman for the company. And it's not everybody is going to be cut out to be a CEO, to lead a big organization.
I'm dealing with that right now with, so part of Let's Move Together, we'll see. It's something that is, I'm sure I think it's a bit of a disruptive model. We'll see. I'm sure there's others out there like this, but with social audio new and podcasting new in this form, we are basically building a portfolio for two reasons. One, it's a monetization, and I'm just gonna be honest, it's a way that I can get a return on my time and the investment of my time, which is significant. And it is the content that we're using as a thread to really go deep into these companies. So we're selecting 9 companies. I've already selected, I'm putting a couple of my own blueprints in there, and we'll put a venture studio around it, which means we'll hire talent after we raise the capital. I'll sit on the board, but I won't run them, including my bike company, because I fired myself from running an e-bike company that's only going to do $5 million of business or something. I need to run, I'm good at running $100 to $500 million businesses. And so I needed to stop being that entrepreneur, scaling my way to $1 million, scaling my way to 10 million. That I'm not really great at that. I'm good at raising capital. I'm good at creating ideas within a company and new market channels, new products, and creating businesses from scratch within a portfolio. So we are going to have a portfolio. We're going to have 9 companies. We'll see whether that's every 6 months, whether that's every year, whether that's every quarter. And we are going to select the ones that we feel are in line with they're investable, they're coachable, but I'm dealing with that right now. They clearly could scale to a certain level. Our companies, the model is that you're worth at least $1 million within the next 60 days or 90 days as we do the first round, and we raise 100 or 200,000. And then within a year, it's 3 times that. And within 3 years further, by 25, it's worth another 2 to 5 times. So we're getting companies in the portfolio that are going to be worth ideally 15 to 25 million with it by 25. So it's a pretty good sized portfolio. If we do 9 of those, you run the math, 9 of but again, the inflection points and the conversations with these companies on social audio, I think would be pretty fascinating for people to go deeper than my question is. You've got 60 seconds. My question is, somebody waited 3 hours to ask a question. You don't even want to give them, you don't even want to hear what their name is and where they're from. So I like being a lead mod partially, John, because I want to.
So is Russ on Clubhouse by chance?
I don't think.
I am.
Oh, you are.
I was more so in the beginning. And I actually started 2 clubs. One was Physician Entrepreneurs. It's got about 3,000 members.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one was Knights Medicus, which is a movement to change healthcare. So to your point, Laura, I was actually hoping that these new apps would be a way to actually make a movement and unite a physician voice. I was going to ask a question. Do you have a focus, or is this all comers in terms of who these 9 portfolio companies?
I'll let you let me just reset real quick. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Go for CEO. We also have Fireside Chat on as well. We're doing a multifunctional chat today. We got a gentleman named Russ Reese. Is it Reese or Rick?
It's Reese.
Okay, Reese. I didn't know if it was. All right. So Russ Reese, cardiac surgeon background, but also COO of a major company that he's running out of Park City, Utah. So we have him on as well. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. Laura Barnard, we're going to drop this video on Go for CEO very soon, and exciting to share with you just kind of a cool, fireside chat is now we're calling it, just interacting here in my office in Oak Brook, Illinois. And we want to thank you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, become a Gopher CEO community member on Facebook and on Instagram and all that good stuff. And I am John the Bomb. Building Others Means Business. That's the acronym BOMB. And then your name, Laura?
You know what? I never got that bomb building other bomb BOMB.
No, come on. You're kidding me.
I'm serious.
No way. Really?
I'm so embarrassed.
No.
I think I'm a really good listener, and I seriously never got
funny.
the acronym.
Well, so
John,
Russ, this is funny. About a month ago, after literally like 80 days together on the marathon room,
Yes.
I say, John the Bomb, Building Others Means Business, BOMB, right? And then one day, then that same day, the founder of the $1 Million Club, he's like, wait, Daniel chimes in. He goes, wait, John. He goes, did you just say bomb, B-O-M-B, Building Others Means Business? He's like, I never knew that. And I literally was saying it for days.
I don't think that's funny.
So, hey, Gopher CEO community, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you, and we'll keep on chatting on the